chance to correct everything I've said.
You don't have to sit here?
Yes, yes, you sit right
Okay. Good evening. Well, in about 15 minutes, 10 minutes or so, he's told of 100 years of life. There's nothing more I can tell you. No, but I can tell you something. I can tell you a story about why Allan and I loved Phoenix and Scottsdale. We were in Santa Fe. This was 20, 30 years ago. We used to come to Scottsdale, Santa Fe, when Allan's agent, Mr. Green, used to have openings here. And Allan didn't like to drive. He didn't like to fly. He liked to drive. He thought, oh, flying maybe for the birds. And he used to like to come to drive a whole day. And we'd come to Albuquerque, go up to Gallup, and we'd eat at the old rancho, and then we'd go across the Navajo country. It was sort of leisurely. He enjoyed all of this driving, and maybe once in a while he'd say, here, you can drive. I saw something over there I want to sketch. So I'd drive and he'd be sketching whatever, maybe it was a Hogan. Then we would go on to Flagstaff. We'd have lunch there, and then from there we'd go down to the base of the mountains, the forest range, you know, and go over the mountains, a different terrain. And then we'd go to, is it Paswas?
Payson.
Payson, yes. We stop at Payson, and then from there when we go out, finish going over the mountain towards Scottsdale. And on the mountainside it was getting different already. There were all these saguaros, and they looked at a group of people coming down the mountain into the lowlands. The older ones, maybe the men with their hands up and something on their head. The smaller ones were the women carrying babies, and then the younger saguaros walking alongside. You see, I have a great imagination. From there, we come into Scottsdale. We stop at the 5th Avenue, and it was so beautiful in Scottsdale with the palm trees and the flowers, the bougainvilleas, and the climate and the people. And then the next day, Allan had a speaking engagement with his agent. He would leave me in Scottsdale at 5th Avenue, and I'd shop around, or he'd take me over to the northwest near Phoenix, where the big mall is. And it was so wonderful, because in Santa Fe we didn't have anything like that. So I spent there all morning shopping, mostly looking. At noon, maybe he'd go over and we'd have a drink at one of the good restaurants. You know, even the food seemed more satisfying here. Then he said, we're leaving tomorrow morning, but we have to go and look at some of the museums and some of the galleries, because he likes art. And we'd go down to Phoenix, down Central Avenue, and we'd stop at the galleries, and he'd look in all the museums. Of course, I like to stop at the gift shops more than anything. But you know, I can't remember where it was, because I trusted him to know where we was going and where we stopped. But then at some time or other he'd say, there's one special place that I have to see. stop there before I go. So we go down, I know it was Central Avenue, and at the south door, we go in, and there on the north of the patio was a wall, and on the wall was a beautiful plaque, bronze plaque, and he'd always stop there to admire it. In the backyard, there were sculptures by the masters. Of course, I never paid any attention, but we stopped there so often, and I knew the way. Well, this was, Ellen's been gone about 18 years or more, and I've always wanted to go back and see where this place that Ellen admired so much. And I've come with the boys, my sons, but they fly now, we fly. They say, why waste a day driving when you can fly over there in an hour? So, and then we have to get a car over here. So I don't want to inconvenience them. I told them I know the place where I want to go, but I never insisted. Well, this last month was yesterday, wasn't it? Well, no, this in February, my former daughter-in-law and my niece, my granddaughter came by, and Betsy said, I'm driving to Phoenix. I have a speaking engagement at the Herd. Would you want to go? Oh, yes, I want to drive again. So we started out, Santa Fe, Gallup, Flagstaff, and we went to Sedona also. That's a beautiful place. Then we came into Phoenix, and that evening we stayed at a hotel on Central Avenue. She gave her speech, and the next day she said, I'm free. If you want to, we can shop around, or we can go to the museums. We have a free day. So I told her, there's a special place that Ellen and I used to go to. I can't remember what it is. I can't remember where, although I know it's down Central Avenue. So she said, oh, we'll find it. So we toured around looking for it, and at the end, well, we couldn't find it. I couldn't remember. And she said, well, let's go to the Phoenix Art Museum. We'll see the sculpture. We'll see the art there. And we got out in the south entrance. We went in the door, and they opened the door. I looked up towards the back. Deja vu. My goodness, I feel like I have been here before. And then we went to the desk, and the lady there said, well, I can't, Betsy told her about the place I wanted to see. She said, I don't know, it's been so many years ago, but we have something nice here that you might like to see. And there was another entrance farther down. She took us to the entrance, and I went out, and I looked up on the wall, and there it was, this wonderful sculpture. It was La Puerta y la Ventana by Francisco Zuniga. Yeah. One of Ellen's, he admired Zuniga's work. There was on the wall. It's a piece, you may all see it, maybe you have seen it. It's bronze with a door opening towards the inside, a figure standing inside, looking out, the man, and up on the left-hand side there's a window, and a woman looking out. It's all in bronze, La Puerta y la Ventana. And down in front of it was this little fountain. Because I remember, it wasn't sprinkling, it was gurgling and gushing. And I stood there, and I got a high, something like you do when you drink wine or beer on an empty stomach, I stood there looking at the trees. And here was standing, or Ellen and I had stood, how many years and years ago, and how many times before. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you all for your patience.
Now you see why she's such a special person. And just one little anecdotal thing with boys, she has so many stories, and you can see she vividly recalls them. One anecdotal moment I was so lucky to share in 1989. Through a strange set of wonderful circumstances, I found myself in Mexico City at the studio first that morning of Francisco Zuniga with Anna Marie and Allan. And then that afternoon, we had this whole entourage of a Japanese film crew and artists from all over the world, and we ended up at Teotihuacan. And we decided we would undertake the effort of climbing the Temple of the Sun. And so as this entourage of about 25 people meandered out, gradually a few people came off, and Allan himself, his knee was bothering him a little bit, and he got about halfway to the top, and I started working my way up the steps, and you know, the air was kind of heavy, and I was getting vertigo, and the higher I climbed, and I got to the top, and I looked down, and I thought, I'm going to fall off this and die. I was so sick, and I was rolled over on my side, and I'm clutching the stones, trying to figure out how I would ever get off this thing, and I glanced over, and there was Anna Marie, just topping the top step, barely out of breath. She said, I was here 50 years ago, and I wanted to see this again, and that's the approach that she still retains to this very day. I know her boys have gone with her to Machu Picchu, that they've gone to every corner of the world, and it's a spirit that she lives with and something that she transcends and gives to us all. We're very, very lucky to have you among us. We're very, very lucky to know you. So, best wishes on your